everybody. Welcome to our fourth podcast for BVS Film Productions. Today we're going to talk about podcast videos and the role it plays in marketing your podcast. So, Denny, you want to talk about that for a minute, or would you like me to talk about it?
Well, as far as podcasts go, this is our fourth one. And there's things we can do while we're talking to incorporate a video into this. Right. As well.
So there's a lot of things you can do with video in a podcast. Like, for example, here, we're in our green screen studio. You can pretty much put yourself anywhere you want, such as
Las Vegas,
or let's say we want to be at a beach right now.
A beach is not a bad idea.
I want to be at a beach right now.
Yes.
But not south, not by the hurricane.
I'm thinking also, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Great place.
That could be cool.
I could have it right on the lake.
Exactly.
Right there.
So, as you can see, there's a lot of things we can do with that.
Well, the other thing, too, is beside the green screen is there's things we can talk about in a podcast that we can talk about where we've been. Besides the green screen, though, you can also utilize video to highlight some of the other things that you've done outside of the podcast. For example, shooting drone shots. Now we have drone footage that's really exciting. You have something you can, really kind of fold into the podcast.
Yeah, it just adds another dimension, and it adds another way that your customers can interact with you and get to see what you're doing in addition to listening to. Another thing that's very interesting is commercials. So with a podcast, for example, and you're listening to it, you hear the commercials, but if you're doing a video version, you can actually do a commercial in between your spots. So you could actually show the vendor doing what they're going to do, or talking about their product or showing their product or service, which is kind of nice. It adds that extra dimension.
It's kind of like, let's take a break here for this commercial from our sponsor.
So right now we're going to take a short break to our sponsor, us.
BVS Film Productions.
Right.
BVS Film Productions develops company videos for some of the largest corporations in the world. From healthcare to industrial, we've got you covered. So contact us at 440-653-9911 or info@bvsfilmproductions.com to see how we can help your company with all of its video content marketing needs.
All right, we're back. So what else is there to talk about podcasts? Let's think about it.
Well,
equipment. Let's talk about equipment.
Equipment for a podcast. What you need for your
if you're just starting out in a podcast, it's real easy. I mean, this mic and a table like this would work perfectly. This is a blue mic, which is kind of cool. You have a couple, $200-$300. It's a nice little mic. It works for it. But you don't even need that. I mean, they got packages. You can get a cool system that's everything you need for two people for like around $300, and and you can record it right into your computer if you wanted to.
What about lighting? So it's just the right kind of light that you could use as part of your podcast. There are these small LEDs that you can really kind of set up in your environment. And
you can do so much, you can do so much or so little. If you want to do lights and all that, that's cool. Or you can just take your iPhone and just start playing around with it and try it. And it's all about trying it and experimenting, right? And then the other side of this is being on people's podcasts, which is kind of interesting. One of the advantages of being on a podcast is you're not only getting your audience, but you're getting everybody else's audience involved. And I'm finding when I go on podcasts that almost every one of them are video-based now. There was a handful of people at the beginning where we were just doing audio, but they understand the importance and the scope of what you can get out of doing a video with your podcast, i.e. Joe Rogan and everybody else out there, as they move forward doing this.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm putting a little commercial in for one of our associates and on-camera people who's got a great presence is Casey Allen and his Burbcast.
It's called Burbcast?
Burbcast, yeah, bourbon.
Right.
And he's actually a bourbon aficionado.
Yeah.
Where he kind of compares different brands and talks about them for about 45 minutes. And if you care to join him while you're remotely watching, that's a good way to kind of chime in and, of course, send him a message or two.
Right.
But it's a way of folding the information in, but also demonstrating at the same time and becoming a, and gathering followers or,
Yeah,
You got people that are going to follow you in terms of doing that.
That's pretty cool. Well, one thing is we're trying now is, our viewers have been seeing, we're actually making ours more like a documentary. While we're talking, things are going on behind us that are, explaining exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
And I kind of feel that's going to be the next generation of podcasts. They're going to be more entertaining. They're going to be more story-like visually, because that's really the only place you can go with it other than 3-dimension. So that's something I think we enjoy doing, and we're experimenting with it, seeing how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I think too that there's so many different topics, but if you want to get a different type of topic that's going to create interest with people, think about that too. Like I mentioned about bourbon.
Something you have a passion for. He obviously has passion for that. So you talk about that.
Well, look at the landscape of all the podcasts that are out there. You name a subject, you're going to find someone talking about it, whether it's
probably out there.
Planting flowers or cooking in the kitchen, a certain recipe, making chili. You'll find a lot of different things out there, and it makes it interesting. And it also comes down to feeling a little freer when you're on camera too, and not getting deer in the headlights.
Well,
and not being able to speak. So you have to really, come across.
Right, and it comes with just repetition.
Right.
You do it many times, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So, cool. All right. Well, I think it was some good information, and I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that. So thanks for watching our 4th podcast. Whoever is out there watching, we greatly appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks. Have a great day.
There you go.
Visit bvsfilmproductions.com or email info@bvsfilmproductions.com to find out more.